funny nonetheless. So I do like comedy. I love podcasting. I also love my job. And of course, I'm not going to give you the cliche answers like, I'm very passionate about my family. And because to me, they're two different things. Like, I love my family. They're my heart. They're my soul. I got to do what I got to do for them. But if we're talking about me, myself as an individual and having my own voice, I'm passionate about, like, you know, comedy. I really do love podcasting. I love writing. I do like writing things. My husband wants actually thinking about a movie, like a short film that he wants to work on. And I'm having so much fun just throwing in ideas and trying to figure all that stuff out. So I do enjoy doing all those things. So
that would be interesting, seeing you in a movie, seeing how, like, seeing you tap into that part of you.
Well, a long time ago, very long ago, I don't even know what happened to this film. I was working on a film that he was a high school friend of mine. He wrote this like movie about, I guess it was himself as like a kid and all the trials and tribulations he went through. And it was kind of like a religious movie. And I'm not really a religious person, but I was just like, you know what, let's do it. So we never finished it, but I was in that for a little bit. Don't know what happened to it, but that was fun. But yeah, that's as far as I get into like ever being in a movie or anything. Okay.
So you're not too into religion. What about politics and social issues? How does that factor into your life?
I don't like to do politics. It's too messy. Yes. It's too messy. Everybody's always lying. I don't know who to trust. It'd be your own people. I'm just like, yeah, oh my God, I'm so passionate about what you're saying. And I believe you. And then you turn around and they whisper something to you. You're like, oh, well, she's lying. And you're a politician. How dare you? So it's too messy. I like to be honest. And I feel like politics is just full of dishonest people. Yeah. Unfortunately, we need it to survive as a society because that's what our, country is built on politics and structure and government. But it's just like, I can't sit down and have like hours of conversation fighting on who was the best president or why is the mayor such a media whore? Like, it's not my fault. Yeah. Mayor Adams is a media whore. That's just who he is. And I keep tweeting him. Shout out, Mayor Adams. I keep tweeting you. I can't keep defending you. And I'm doing it on purpose.
You say that?
I keep tweeting him. I'm like, sir, I can't keep defending you.
Oh, and wow.
It's funny because eventually, hopefully, I get a response. Man, what does that mean? I don't know. But now that we're talking.
My God. Wait a minute. So if you get a response from him, how are you going to take that? Are you going to get him to come on your podcast? Like what?
I would love it. Like, excuse me, my husband is a retired police officer. You're retired, MTA police. We got to get something going on. Let's speak your truth, Mr. Mayor. He's going to be like, girl, you better sit down. But it's okay. I'll shoot my shot.
Keep at it. Keep shooting your shot. One day you're going to hit them threes. I'm confident. Confident.
Yes. I mean, I'm a vibe. I think he'll have a lot of fun. I think
he will too.
Right?
Yeah.
I think he'll have a lot of fun.
He got to get over his media whore thing and come down to,
He's just everywhere talking about New York City tap water is the best water. No, it's not. Don't lie to. Well, you know what? It is the best water from, considering other places in the world. However,
comma.
You're not right. You're not drinking tap water, Mayor Adams. Don't lie.
Right.
You ain't got to lie. See what I'm saying? Politicians is always lying.
Always. So, how long have you been podcasting and what got you started podcasting?
So I've been podcasting since April of last year. So I've made a year this April. And I started podcasting. I feel like a lot of people have similar stories, at least people I've spoken to. Their stories usually like, not only did COVID hit, but then there were so many kind of feelings and realizations in life. And working from home or not working at all, it's just like there's so many other options out there in the world. And I've always felt, although I've been working in healthcare and in medicine for a very, very long time, for like 10 plus years, I was just like, my personality calls for more. And podcasting gave me the opportunity to kind of just show the world who I am as like a real person instead of this persona who's like always seeing a patient, who's always caring for somebody. Like I have a fun side too. I have a silly side. I have stuff to talk about. I'm entertaining. And podcasting just really gave me the ability to explore and just share all of that.
Okay. My next follow-up question was what were your motivations that led you to podcasting? But I want to switch that up a little bit to do you ever are you ever concerned about podcasting be a conflict of interest with your job?
Not really. So that's a little difficult because where I work, sometimes we get a lot of media attention because of the type of work I do and the type of patients that we have.
Right.
So I never, because I'm always professional first, I would never, ever, unless it was okay and I got the green light from everyone to mention like names or to talk about certain things or certain events or things that have transpired. So I would never, ever cross that boundary. And I think everyone at my job knows that I podcast. And that's one thing going back into, because I was working from home and then I kind of stopped working completely because I was going to nursing school. And then I realized that I'm going to kill everybody in my nursing school. And I said, I can't do this anymore. Guys, don't read too much into that. I am no killer.
Right. She is not a killer. Trust me, I know.
Right. I was just going to say, I'm no killer. But when I went back to work, which is why today I was just like, yeah, playing with me. One of the biggest stipulations was Michelle is putting podcasting front and center, and she's here to actually help us, not the other way around, which I really did appreciate because it put me on a pedestal where I felt like, wow, you guys are really taking into consideration what I want to do. And there's not many employers out there that would do that. So I appreciate that. That's why I'm always like, yep, I'm here, whatever you guys need, because I really do appreciate the fact that they put my podcasting first, because that's what it was. So I don't think there'll ever be any conflicts. I would never do anything to jeopardize that. And they know that. So. Right.
Yeah. I mean, I know you would never, like we as podcasters would never do anything intentionally to jeopardize, but there's always that outside force that, let me see. And, they start making things something that there isn't. So that's why I wanted to ask that question.
And I try to stay away from people like that. I like to think that I'm a good judge of, character.
Right.
But it's just, you never know people's intentions, right? They'll switch up overnight. But that's one of the things about like podcasting or even doing what we do in general, just posting content, having social media. That's one of the risks. You always have those people who are gonna, so.
Yeah, definitely. So you recently brought your podcast to YouTube.
Yes.
How long had you been planning on doing that?
Since the beginning of this year. Yeah. As soon as January hit, I already had in my mind, like I wanted to start expanding a little more and switching things up. I just didn't know how I wanted to do it. Also consistency. And it's bad enough you have to sit here, you record something and then edit for hours. Now you have to also do the same for YouTube where it's visuals and you have to make sure you have the right cuts and the right transitions and it looks good. Because if not, you have public TV. You just have all the with the bad mics.
Not public TV. Stop. You're killing me.
I mean, you got the bad microphone, the bad camera angles, and and I do take pride in being able to like have a nice, clean production, whether it's visually or audio only. So that was like what slowed me down. And that's why I don't put out so much content for YouTube at the same time. I have to pace myself. It's either maybe once or twice a month or maybe even once a month, because for me, it's like you said, it's not quantity, it's the quality for me.
Yeah.
So if it's not going to look good and it's going to look crazy, then I'm just not going to post it up.
Yeah, I definitely couldn't agree with that because when we first started, we were banging out audio podcasts just like faithfully, and it's like we recorded so much that we had a surplus to the point where we could probably go a week without recording and we still have enough. But like you said, when it comes to editing and this, that, and the other, and sometimes if you're the only